Okay, following on from the lack of work that some of us got through today, there's a PowerPoint up here now that just basically covers, gives you a little bit of information about all the drugs in sport. So when you return after half term, you need to have the notes in your book regarding the key elements of the drugs that we've looked at today, and just have some basic notes. Now, you don't have to copy every single note down that I put on here for you. Just a little bit of an in-depth insight into the drugs, what they do, and some examples of people who've been caught using them. So obviously these are all the drugs that we've looked at. So stimulants, steroids, diuretics, blood doping, beta blockers, peptides, narcotics, and caffeine. So there's just a little bit on each of these slides that go through that. I want you to obviously pause it, write them up, or add to the bits that you've already got in your books already. So we've got stimulants. Main aim for them is increase reaction, raise aggression. Okay, they reduce pain, highly addictive. So it's things like cocaine. Right, so Adrian Mutu, who used to play for Chelsea, has been sued by them and Fiorentina, I think off the top of my head, because he got banned. So obviously they lost a lot of earnings from having to pay a lot of money for him. They have side effects such as blood pressure, stroke, heart, lung problems, increase the risk of injury as you don't realise that you're playing through the pain threshold. Okay, so just a little bit on there that you need to copy up. Steroids. Okay, so steroids stimulate muscle growth. Alright, they allowed athletes to train harder and recover quicker. Alright, so they work like testosterone in the sense of that's the hormone that's released. So like we saw in the video of the German shot putter who had that much steroids put into it that she actually had to have a sex change, this is due to the testosterone in the body. Okay, so it linked into all of that. So the main thing that obviously steroids do is increase your muscle mass, increase the weights that you can lift or the power that you can exert because of the training that you're able to do. So Dwayne Chambers, he got banned from sprinting and from athletics because of the use of THG, which is a banned steroid substance. Okay, so again, you need to get some information of these down. Like I said, not all of this is it. You don't need to copy every single word of this. You just need to get the key bits, so you've got a bit about each drug in your book for when you come back after half term. Okay, so we've got diuretics. All right, it's not performance enhancing. All right, but it's used for different things. So it can be used to remove fluids from the body for weights. So people who require weights, jockeys, boxers, people like that who have to meet certain weight limits. Or it can be used to get rid of other drugs. So diuretics increase the production of urine. All right, so like I say, it flushes out fluids from the body. So if people are trying to get rid of a drug from the body, they'll use diuretics because it's like a bit of a masking agent, because you don't really see what it does. It doesn't really leave loads of traces, but it can be seen. So it's used to shed water as well for temporary weight loss. So if you've got to make a weight category, like we say, for jockeys, for boxers, okay, they might use this. So an example, Veronica Campbell-Brown, Jamaican sprinter in 2010, I think it was. She got banned. She was a 200 metres Olympic champion, and she got banned because this was found in her blood system. Okay, blood doping doesn't always necessarily link a drug into it. What it mainly is blood doping. It's similar in a sense to EPO, like we covered in the previous PowerPoint. Right? It increases the amount of red blood cells in the body. So obviously the more red blood cells, the more oxygen that can be transported around to the working muscles, which then increases a delayed onset of fatigue. Alright, so you won't get cramp, you won't get tired as quickly. Alright, there's two main ways. So they can inject extra blood cells, either from a donor or from their own blood previously, so pumping extra blood cells into the body, or they can take a drug that increases blood production. Right. One of the side effects or the downside to this is obviously blood transfusions using needles and that can be dangerous. You can pass diseases on and things, but also it's very difficult to smuggle frozen blood in and medical equipment and using them without people knowing. Now, Lance Armstrong was obviously a big person who did this, and apparently he had a secret room or something in one of his apartments. That was on one of the documentaries about him, that he was able to go and hide and do this. All right, so he was using EPO and blood doping.
Here's the Englishman who races for France, who skis for France, Ben Cabot.
Okay, beta blockers. So these reduce stress and anxiety and nerves and things like that. So people that require good hand-eye coordination or need to have a steady hand, so darts, archery, snooker, alright, beta blockers are instantly linked to these, especially within archery, the Olympics and things like that. But it's also linked into things like golf. Alright, Doug Barron, 2010, failed the drug test for using beta blockers. Now, obviously, a steady hand's really important in golf because if you're nervous and you're getting to the end and you're putting on the green, just a certain slip of the hand is going to lose you your line. So beta blockers obviously calm them nerves down as well. Okay, so another one is EPO and HGH. Now, we've looked at EPO, alright, and again, the main thing it does is it stimulates red blood cell production. So anyone that's involved in a long-distance exercise or aerobic activity, such as runners, long-distance runners, cyclists, people like that, alright, EPO is linked into that. It's injected under the skin and stimulates red blood cells. Alright, so this is more the drug that does it. So Marion Jones failed a test for EPO. We saw Marion Jones on the video today crying at the end of it because she'd been caught and been to court. Right, human growth hormone. Increases muscle mass. So sports where you rely on or you need muscle and strength and power to be successful at, this is what this is linked into. Alright, so it's in a way it's linked into steroids, alright, but it stimulates muscle size and strength. Alright, and it's used for short bursts of explosive strength. It allows muscles to recover quicker, allowing you to train harder and more often. So again, this is massively similar to steroids. Alright, Terry Newton, rugby player, he was banned for using human growth hormone, and like I said in the lesson today, it is massively linked into things like rugby league and that. And the last two, narcotic analgesics. So these sort of mask pain. So when you're training and that, if you've got an injury, you can sort of work through it without realising. So they mask the pain, it allows you to train harder and train for longer. So you don't feel the fatigue or anything, you don't feel that muscle soreness. Alright, it allows you to ignore the injury and work on through. Now obviously there's a massive risk involved in this, because if you've got a strain or a pull, anything that you train on further from that, you're just going to do more and more damage to the muscle. Alright, so there's huge downsides to using that drug, but again it's used to mask pain so athletes can push themselves further and harder for longer. In caffeine, we all know about caffeine, alright, it's a stimulant. If it's used too much, like if you see in your energy drinks where there's loads and loads of caffeine, that's really bad for you, alright, but it's used as a stimulant, but it's also a mild diuretic, so it can help pass water if you have too much caffeine. Okay, so so they're the notes that you need copied up for next lesson. You just need to take bits out of every single one, just so you've got something of all them drugs, because obviously we've missed a few today with some people not getting the notes completed within the lesson. So this is an option for you to catch up on your notes on all of these that we've just been through then, and get something down in your book so you don't miss anything out. It needs to be in your book, guys, so next time I check it in and mark it. If you don't, you have to go back and watch this video again. Okay, thank you very much and see you tomorrow.